It's Christmas time, a time for spending time with loved ones, a time for eating way too much food, a time for decorating the house, a time for Secret Santa, and if you're anything like me, excuse number 464 to watch movies, right under because I wanted to. I am a massive Christmas dork. Sure, Halloween is fun to dress up and get candy, and Thanksgiving it's fun to make passive-aggressive comments to your family, but there's just this magic that fills the air with Christmas. It could be the great songs, the smell of the turkey, the presents, but to me, it's those gosh darn Christmas movies. Are they good? Most of the time I think of Christmas movies as their own thing because while normal movies need to have strong elements all throughout, that's to say characters, plots, scores, etc., Christmas movies only really need to have a good atmosphere. A good Christmas movie can completely fail at everything, as long as it has a good atmosphere, as long as it makes you feel like Christmas. Now, of course, that's no excuse for some Christmas movies because they had great elements and could still have a good atmosphere, but in general, I stand by that. So I thought it'd be fun to review 4 Christmas movies in the month of December, leading up to my favorite Christmas movie, which will be posted on December 25th. I know, more than one videos in a month, what dimension is this? Also, I wanted to give these movies 2 scales, one for getting you in the Christmas mood, and the other for actually being a good movie, because some of these are much better at getting you into Christmas time than they are actually being good movies that you could watch any time of the year. A Christmas Story follows the troubles of a young boy wanting to own a BB gun, but everyone in his life says no. His mother, his friends, and even Santa Claus. Yes, the Santa and the elves in this movie gleefully push people down slides, shove them onto Santa's lap, and crush kids' dreams. That might be the most inspired idea that I've ever heard. Most of the movie, I assume you'll be reminiscing about all of the iconic moments in this film, from the oh fudge moment to the time where this poor kid gets beat up by his mom for no reason that he knows of. Oh, that was so sad. And since I did say that the atmosphere is the most important thing in a Christmas movie, I'll establish that this movie nails it, though not necessarily because it does everything like every other Christmas movie. In fact, A Christmas Story doesn't have the standard adjectives one would come to associate with Christmas movies. It doesn't feel big or as beautiful, but that's okay because the focus is on this little family and seeing how they celebrate Christmas. The movie takes the unique route of comprising itself of a bunch of different small stories that sometimes don't have to do with Christmas at all. Its focus is more about following the family, not actually telling what happened to the family on Christmas. It's actually kind of weird how a Christmas movie can be so slice of life, but it definitely gives it a unique charm. But now let's actually take a look at this mixed bag of a movie. First off, even though I gave this movie credit for having a slice of life feel to it, I'll have to take some away for such jarring tone skips all throughout the movie. Every short story in this film is really different. So different, in fact, that it can be really weird to watch these pieces come together, because it feels like you're watching entirely different stories with the same characters. This can work, but the characters have to be consistent. I don't know, maybe it didn't work for me because each character doesn't really have defining traits. One transition I really hated was when we go from this great scene to the family eating dinner, which itself is poignant and charming, to a montage of these bullies who are obnoxious. I think it would have been much better if they had made the bullies a bit less like the stereotypical guys that trip on you and chase you in the bathroom in skeleton masks. I get that the movie wants to capture that corny feeling, and it definitely does, but it's really distracting. I don't really know how to feel about these cliched writing choices. Like, okay, having Ralphie imagining his teacher giving him an A+ does add to the classic feel it's going for. But is it really that funny? It's definitely not making the cliche better, it's just adding to the pile of movies that have the older bully scares little kids away trope, which I love. It's just so creative. But overall, I say it works. Mostly. There were also a few missed opportunities with some of the characters. I think a lot of them could have had more screen time, like the mother for example. She was really funny and fit the film really well when she was on screen, but I feel like she could have replaced some of the dad scenes. He definitely had his moments, but he's basically just a worse version of Appa from Kim's Convenience.
Party. Need 2 cards.
No.
3.
No, you keep cutting
You
me.
good deal. 4 cards.
Oh.
Okay, see you. Have a fun party.
Best before this date. After this date, not the best, but still pretty good. God give to you 2 ears and 1 mouth. Listen 2 more times, then you talking.
Sorry?
Boy on slide and slash his throat.
Yeah, the jokes in this movie were kinda hit or miss. Some jokes are really funny, but there's a couple that got really annoying. It's kinda like the sloth joke in Zootopia. Funny at first, but then the movie beats it to death until it's not remotely funny and it gets pretty laughable. Like when the dad buys a lamp with legs. Really funny at first, especially when we get to see the mom's reaction. But then the movie stretches on and on and on and okay, I don't care about these legs anymore, this is weird, get it out.
I want to be free of this pain.
Or when the little kid makes pig noises. Okay, that one wasn't funny to begin with, but my point still stands. Alright, I'm done complaining. I know I'm being a bit harsh, but I just wanted this movie to be better. I guess the reason I went so long without giving it a lot of compliments is because everyone already knows why A Christmas Story is so good. It's such a classic. The characters are mostly really charming, the jokes are mostly good, okay? And the slice of life cliche writing aspect mostly works to its advantage. So yeah, I'm not saying this movie is bad by any stretch. It's got a lot of things to like, from the charming dialogue to the slow pace to the nice Christmas visuals. I just wish it had been a bit better at those things. Considering all the massive amounts of praise this movie gets, I don't really think it's lived up to its reputation. And that is massively disappointing because I really respect what they were going for. I wish that more family-oriented movies had a slow pace instead of moving 20 million miles an hour. I wish that more Christmas movies were generally funnier than they are. I wish that more Christmas films had this much of a recognizable identity. I don't know, maybe my expectations were a bit too high, but I hope I've properly voiced why I'm not the biggest fan of A Christmas Story. I'll give it a movie score of 6 on 10 and a Christmas score of 8 on 10. Definitely gets you into the Christmas mood, it's just not a personal favorite.